learning strategies and assessment techniques in teaching language. Effective language teaching involves diverse learning strategies and assessment techniques. Strategies include communicative language teaching, task-based learning, and interactive activities to promote language use. Assessment methods range from traditional exams to promote assessment, allowing peer evaluation and self-assessment students to demonstrate practical language skills. Continuous feedback further enhance the learning process. Learning strategies. Learning strategies are operation and action that students use in order to optimize the processes of obtaining and storing information and course concepts. The ultimate goal of these strategies is that students are able to extract this information from memory in order to apply it. Communicative approach. The communicative approach is based on the idea that learning language successfully comes through having to communicate real meaning. These include role plays, group activities, and project work. An example of communicative language teaching is practicing questions among students to find out personal information about their peers. Task based learning. Task based learning engaging students in language tasks or projects that mimic real world scenarios, promoting language acquisition through problem solving. In task based approach, learners learn by doing. Task activities are usually rich in language, involving a wide variety of language areas, as well as all the skills reading, writing, listening, and speaking. TPR, or Total Physical Response, associating language learning with physical action, aiding the memory retention through movement. Some classroom TPR examples include cupping your ear to show that you're listening and want them to speak, pointing to your mouth when talking to show that they should listen carefully, using your finger to draw a circle in the air, or mimicking and clicking motion to explain what they should do on the screen. Interactive games. Interactive games incorporating language learning into games fosters a fun and engaging environment, enhancing retention. Typically, interactive games challenge players to solve compelling problems. Players learn by doing, in a virtual setting that responds to every move or decision or input they make. They interact with the game environment, develop skills to succeed in the environment, and rehearse those skills repeatedly.
So next we have storytelling. It is using narratives helps contextualize language, making it more memorable and providing cultural insights. In the story, we have a central message and plot, conflict, characters, setting and rhythm and structure, which it creates a really good story in the section. Example for these are newspapers, magazines, and books. So next we have the role playing. It is encouraging students to act out scenarios in a target language, promotes practical language use and builds confidence. Using simple props, body position, and facial expressions, students create. Lastly, we have the language exchanges. It is pairing students with native speakers or other learners for conversation practice, enhances speaking and listening skills. Language exchanges tend to benefits like oral proficiency, fluency, colloquial vocabulary acquisition, and vernacular usage. Remember, A blend of these strategies can cater to diverse learning styles. We have here a certainly language assessment techniques include. The first one is formative assessment. It is the ongoing evaluation during the learning process such as quizzes or class discussions to provide feedback for improvement. Example for this is taking short quizzes to write summaries, conducting open-end discussions, per assessments, and concept maps.
So next we have the summative assessment. Concluding evaluations like final exams or standardized tests, assessing overall language proficiency. So diri na musod ang mga major exams. So major exams helps teachers to i-evaluate nila ang mga na-learn sa ilang mga students, sa mga nakuha nga progress or ang progress mismo sa isang mga students throughout the language learning journey. Next, we have the portfolio assessment. Reviewing a collection of a student's work over time, showcasing their language development and skills. So, just like sa katong gidiscuss sa atong assessment 1, you are going to ask your students or you are going to compile their works yourself in order para throughout their learning journey, ma-review nimo or kanang makita nimo ang progress or ug naa man jud gani progress ang imo nga student para pod in that way it will help the teacher para mahibaw-an og asa jud siya dapit mag-focus og tudlo sa iyang nga student. Next, we have the peer assessment. Having students evaluate each other's language abilities, encouraging collaboration and a deeper understanding of the material. So there is a peer assessment from the word itself, peer assessment. You are going to let your students rate each other's language abilities or language skills. This technique also helps the students to kanaang mold or like enhance their collaboration and communication skills. So next we have self-assessment, allowing students to reflect on their own language proficiency and set goals for improvement. So for example, aning nga self-assessment, we have ang reflection paper. Diri ang reflection paper or ang self-assessment, mao na siya ang nag-help, it helps the students para mahimo silang aware sa ilang kaugalingong kanang pagkukulang. Diri nila mahibaw-an og asa sila dapit lacking, asa sila dapit mas mag-focus pa sa ilang language skills. So this kaning self-assessment is very helpful para first mahimo silang aware, second para ma-assess nila ang ilang strengths o ilang weaknesses. So in order sa ilang pag-learn, makatabang ni siya because dili na siya kaayo manginahanglan og kanang pukaw pa siya or like i-inform pa siya nga diri nga part lacking ka, diri ka dapat mag-focus, diri dapat nimo tagaan og mas daghan nga attention ani nga aspect because with self-assessment mahimo na silang aware og asa sila dapit kailangan mag-work. Next, we have performance task. Assessing language skills through real-world tasks such as giving a presentation or completing a project. For example, aning mga performance task nga mahasa ang language skills sa mga students is kini ang role-playing and reporting. So, sa performance task, syempre, if ever ang maghatag ka og performance task, maghatag jud ka or you are going to instruct your students, you are going to let your students use the medium nga English, not vernacular, in order pod para ma-enhance ang ilang communication skills. So lastly, we have the observation and checklist. Systematically observing students during language activities and using checklists to assess specific language competencies. So there is observation and checklist experience na nato during our individual nga demo teaching sa ka Ma'am Jelly. So, observation, syempre i-observe ang student. For example, na ay activity nga gihatag ang teacher, i-observe sa teacher ang student. And through the observation, mag-andam siya, for example, og kani ang checklist para sa katong gibuhat ni Ma'am Jelly, so that ma-assess ni Jat time to time kung asa dapit nag-excel or asa dapit nagkuwang ang usa ka student. So, it is helpful nga maghatag pod og checklist, especially og naay kanaang recommendation sa ubos. So, ma-aware ang mga students og kanaang asa sila dapit lagi nag-excel og asa sila dapit mas mag-focus pa para ma-enhance ang ilang language speaking skills. So, those are the techniques. And I guess that is all for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope naamoy na learn sa kining nga topic. Thank you.